Good evening, Rabotai. We were discussing the Mishnah Berurah says in Siman Kuf Nun Vav, when a person goes to work, he has to make sure to work on his midot before he goes to work, so he doesn't have any mishaps or wrong behavior at business and when he does business. So we spoke yesterday about ga'ava, of haughtiness, arrogance. Today we have to speak. The Mishnah Berurah says the person also has to stay away from anger, from ka'as, from getting angry. As the Gemara Masechet Pesachim says, that there are three people that HaKadosh Baruch Hu specifically loves, and one of them is a person who does not get angry. He holds himself from getting angry. The Gemara tells us in Masechet Kiddushin that a person who gets angry doesn't gain anything except for anger. He doesn't fix the situation by getting angry, so therefore a person only loses, he doesn't gain anything. The Gemara also tells us that a person is nikar, he's recognized. The Gemara Masechet Eruvin tells us the person is recognized by three things, and one of them is ka'aso, through his anger. When a person gets angry, you see who his true nature and how much he worked on himself. You really see how he is when he gets angry. If he really gets angry, or he gets a little bit angry, or how he conducts himself, how loose does he let himself go when he gets angry. And the Gemara Masechet Nedarim says that the person brings upon himself a lot of bad things when he gets angry. The person brings upon himself Chas v'Shalom Gehinom. He also brings upon himself, it's a skula for to get hemorrhoids, the Gemara Masechet Nedarim says. A person who gets angry, that's what it leads to as well. So therefore a person has to push himself, to remind himself not to do these things, not to get angry, because it only does bad things. The Gemara Masechet Sotah says that it destroys a house. A person who's angry in the house, it will ruin a lot of relationships, and the decorum in his house will not be where it's supposed to be because of the anger that he constantly gets into. Also, the sages tell us in the Zohar, Parshat Tetzaveh, says when a person gets angry, his neshama leaves him temporarily, and he gets a sitra achra inside of him, and he is asur. The Zohar says it's asur to look at his face in that moment. It says in the Torah, do not make for yourself a false god. False gods, it includes inside of yourself. That a person gets so angry to the point where he wants to break things. The Gemara tells us in Masechet Shabbat that he's considered like he's doing idolatry. When a person gets so angry, he doesn't believe in Hashgacha Pratit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought you to this situation, and He's in control of whatever happens in the world. You get so upset, you can't accept what Hashem did to you. That means as if you're denying Hashgacha Pratit, a divine providence. So therefore, it's like as if you're doing Avodah Zarah when you don't accept what Hashem sends you. So therefore, the Zohar says that a person has a ruach sitra achra inside of himself. From the other side, when he gets angry, it's a sort to look at his face, and he loses all the holiness that a person gained from the mitzvot, the learning and the praying that he gained. He loses it when he gets angry. The Arizal told Rav Chaim Vital many times that a person has to stay away from the sin of getting angry very much. As he told him that a person who gets angry, he has to do a fasting of 233 fasts to undo the tikkun, to undo the blemish that he did to his neshama for this, that he got angry. So the person has to stay very far away from the attribute of getting angry. Even when a person is supposed to get angry, let's say at his students, or let's say at his children, it has to be a fake anger. It has to be an anger that he's just putting on a show. But deep down inside, obviously, he's not really angry. That is 100% asur. A person cannot really get angry internally. Also, there's a wonderful story that Bet Yosef brings in the end of the laws of Motzei Shabbat, but the Kolbo. There was a story where there was a lady who went to go get water Motzei Shabbat. Motzei Shabbat, there's this gula to drink water from a well, and they might be from the well of the Be'er Miriam. So she got water, and she looked for water for a very long time. She came home late, and the water that she carried was actually from the Be'er Miriam, and she didn't realize. Her husband, who was full of blisters all over his body, was sick. So it ended up being that he got very upset at her. Why'd you take so long? He got angry at her. He yelled at her. He scared her. She dropped the bucket, and the whole water spilled all over the floor. And a few drops splashed on his body. Wherever it splashed on him, it healed him. But he would have been able to get healed completely if he wouldn't have yelled at her, if he wouldn't have got upset. Also, there's a story that the Chazal tell us about a person who was left his wife to go to business from a different country and came back many years later. And he didn't realize that he left her pregnant. After many years, over 15 years, he was gone. He came back and he saw a young man through the window hugging his wife. So he got very upset and he thought his wife was cheating on him. So it ended up being he plotted to kill her. But then he remembered his father always taught him, whenever you're angry, sleep on it. You don't know what Hashem's really planning for you. He slept on it. He came the next day to shul, and they saw him back in shul, and they praised him, and they welcomed him back. and they sat this boy next to him. They said, "Why are you sitting this boy next to him?" He said, "This is your son." He didn't realize this is your son. He saw it was the same man who was hugging his wife the day before. So he ended up almost killing his wife and killing his son, but because he slept on it, he ended up realizing the mistake he made. So we have to realize, we have to give benefit of doubt to Kadosh Baruch Hu. We don't know what Hashem's planning for us. If we get angry, we might be getting angry even in a situation that's good for us. Baruch Nayolam. Amen.